have NDEers who say, I had a near-death experience and I saw the pearly gates. Like, perfect example, my mother had a near-death experience where she had saw the streets of gold. She saw the Messiah with the long white robe and the curtail, and she saw the gardens where people were praying and singing. Well, the reason why that's shown to near-death experiencers, from what I have researched and what I have understood through experience, is because of the fact that the one who brings forth that experience to the near-death experience person wants the near-death experience person to go out and tell what they saw. And so upon them telling what they saw, that encourages the belief, oh, well, heaven is for real. So this is what happens when I die. I will go to heaven. And the same thing with people who have near-death experiences of hell, is so that the person who had the near-death experience can come and tell people, hey, I saw hell. Hell is real. And if you don't want to go to hell, you have to believe in one of the many religions, which are all false, here on earth. And so that's the reason why these near-death experiencers are shown heaven and hell. There was a movie called Heaven is for Real, and the little boy claimed he saw heaven. Well, yeah, he saw heaven. He saw an hallucination of heaven. That's what he saw, because heaven is not for real. That is an hallucination to get people to believe in the white light that they see after death will take them to heaven. And especially if you're good, but if you are bad by not believing in one of these earthly religions, you're going to go to hell. And I do want to say all religions, including Christianity, are absolute false.
Okay. But how can you be so sure that it's true that we're being deceived?
Because I've been there. I've experienced it through astral projection. This brings me to a good point. My friend drew astral projection, and he is currently on Reddit. He's been on Reddit for a long time. He goes by the Reddit name Astro Rocker, and he's a very good friend of mine, and he's been trying to warn people. He had stated how he had went through astral projection many times, and he has seen people who have gone to a realm after dying and going to the white light. They have been taken to this realm, whereas it's absolute dictatorship. And these people who have gone to this realm, they have all told him, we believe in God, we believe in heaven and hell, and yet we're here. And this realm is a realm that is completely controlled by the demiurge, who is Enki. And in this realm, if people think that we're in dictatorship here, and this realm that is there is horrible. It is more dictator to there than it is here. And people that are there in this realm, they are there awaiting to be reincarnated. And they are forbidden from using their abilities while in this realm. Every couple of days, they have what is called a harvesting ritual, where the Isbis there, which is what I call them Isbis, the Isbis there, which also means souls, but I can use the word Isbis, they are mandated to attack each other, to the death. But even though you say they already did, but it's a simulation of dying and then coming back to life again and repeating the process again. And this is done for the purpose of extracting loose energy from the souls, Isbis, that are there. They are mandated to attend classes to brainwash them into believing that the reason why they're there is because they have to pay back bad karma. When there's a situation that happens where the god who controls that realm, who created that realm, who is Enki, when he is about to come through that realm, someone in that realm will yell out to everyone there, Lucifer is coming, Lucifer is coming. And at that point, everyone in that realm has to get on their knees, so that when the demiurge, who is Enki, when he walks through that realm, everyone is bowing to him. Then when it comes time for them to be reincarnated, they are put on a slab. And I saw this through astral projection myself, the same thing my friend saw. My mother saw the same thing through astral projection. They are put on this slab. And when they are put on this slab, they are jolted with hundreds of thousands of volts. It is worse than being fried in an electric chair. And they are, brutally just reincarnated back down to this realm here. And that realm exists for anyone who goes through the white light after death. And I like to call it. So by
that rationale, you're saying that our time here on Earth is actually heaven, and
No,
when we die, it's like hell.
no,
Without a
no,
wall.
no. This you can only go to that realm if you decide to go through the light after death. Let me give you an example. Let me use, for example, myself. If I were to die and I see the white light, first, upon the person dying, they'll see the white light. They'll see the angels, the spirit guides. And by the way, all spirit guides are nothing but archons. They're not real. There's no such thing as spirit guides. They'll see the spirit guides, they'll see the angels, and the angels do not look like the angels with the humans with the wings. These are actual, believe it or not, they're eyes that are encrusted with diamond rings around them. There are pictures of them on TikTok of how they call them serapins, but that's exactly how they look. That's how the angels look. They don't look like people with wings, but you'll see all of this, and you'll see a Messiah, and you may see loved ones, and they're in front of the light. Sometimes there's not a light; it's just them, and they're telling people, "Come on, you've done good. Now you get to go home." If you go with them, then that realm that I just explained, that's the realm you're going to go to while waiting reincarnation. Now, if you decide to do the right thing and say, no, I'm not going with you, I'm sovereign, and you turn away from them, then you have the chance to leave this matrix by going through the grid and going to the free universe, which I like to call pleroma. So that's the choices that you have after death. You can either go with them and go to this realm where you are going to go through torture, and it is torture. There are dogs attacking other dogs in that realm, people fighting each other through bloody death. I mean, it is horrible, and I explain this in my novel as well. Or you can choose to turn away from them and say, I am sovereign, I am going back home to source, or I'm going back home to the free universe, which I call pleroma, and then you can go there. But no, heaven on earth, Earth is not heaven. Earth is a prison planet. Earth is a prison planet of suffering. None of us are supposed to be down here in the first place. But we were tricked into coming down here, and I don't recommend anyone coming back down here because this planet is continuously getting worse, and it's going to get even worse because the simulation is ending. So, no, this is not a heaven. This is a prison.
So, how many times do you think personally you've reincarnated on Earth?
Hundreds. I want to explain this. As everyone can see here, I am brown skin. I am biracial. I have Black heritage in me. I have Scottish heritage, French heritage, Native American heritage. But for so many years growing up, I was drawn to the medieval times, and I couldn't understand why. I was drawn to anything that was in the medieval period, the colonial period. Well, come to find out, under doing past life regression therapy, in my past life, I was in those times, and that's why I was drawn to that. We have all reincarnated. A lot of us, well, I won't say all, but a huge majority of us have reincarnated here so many times. We just can't remember, because once we go through the light, and while we are awaiting reincarnation, we are taken through a memory wipe, so that when we do get reincarnated back down here, we don't remember our past lives. This is why I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I feel so old, I feel so tired. Well, you are old. You are millions of years old, but you just can't remember it. This is why you have a lot of people that are drawn to certain things, and they don't understand why they're drawn to them, because in their past life, those things were attached or connected to them. So all of us have been reincarnated hundreds of times. We've been here hundreds of times. We just can't remember it because of the memory wipe.
Do we reincarnate in time sequentially, meaning chronologically, or can we be reincarnated at any point in time?
Well, it's chronologically. After you die, again, if you choose to go through the light, you come back down here in a new baby body, and sometimes you may live for 4 or 5 years, sometimes maybe 20, 30 years, maybe 100 years. You die and you go, and once you go through the light the first time, it's an endless loop. So you do it again and again and again and again and again. And then what happens is, after a while, after so many times of reincarnating, the soul, which again I call an ISB, it begins to disintegrate from anybody that it is reincarnated into. And the reason why is because after so many times of reincarnation, the soul begins to get tired. It loses its energy. And at that point, believe it or not, and I saw this through astral projection, at that point, when the soul can no longer stay in the body that it is reincarnated into, Enki, who is Lucifer, who is also the demiurge, he eats up what's left of the soul. And I've seen this happen during astral projection. So has my friend. It is a very horrific process. And I do want to say, in that realm where you are awaiting reincarnation, all of your nerves work there. Even that you would say, well, how is it that the nerves work when you're not in a body anymore? Enki, who created that realm, has made it so that you can still feel things up there. And they have astral law enforcement soldiers up there. Whereas if you get out of line, you are not to question authority while you're there. And if you ever question authority, Enki has what is called astral law enforcement soldiers that are there who will beat you. And I've seen this through astral projection, so is my friend. They will literally beat you, and you will feel the beating, even though you're not in a body form. It is a horrible place. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, this sounds like, this is fear-mongering. It's not fear-mongering because you don't have to go there. The good thing about it is that you don't have to go there. This is what Enki, who is Lucifer, who is the demiurge, he wants people to go there, but you don't have to go. And so that's the empowering thing of it. So yeah, I could go on, but I don't know if you want me to.
Wow, that does not sound pleasant.